We're all adults in this book. It's an adult romantasy novel, just fork. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nikki. So happy that you guys are here today. I'm really thirsty. I've already had a Red Bull today, so I feel like I shouldn't do back-to-back Red Bulls. Ooh. I love cherry Coke. So I have not one monthly wrap-up, but two. We're gonna be talking about March and April wrap-ups, but just sit down, grab a drink, grab your cat, get cozy on the couch, and just let's hop right into the video. Starting off the month strong, and I mean strong, I completed the Throne of Glass series with Kingdom of Ash. I can't talk about anything in here without spoiling anything, but if you guys haven't read the series before, I wish this is your sign to pick up the book and have a good time reading it. It was a good conclusion, I think, to the series, but if you know, you know. Obviously, I gave this 5 stars. If you guys haven't read this, please do. It is so much fun. The next book I ended up reading was Threadneedle by Carrie Thomas. This is a YA cozy fantasy. We're following this girl, Anna. She is an orphan, but she lives with her aunt, and her aunt is a witch. Anna has been trying to awaken her powers, and she meets Effie and Addis, who are also witches. So she's kind of like opened up into the world of magic and witches and wizards and all that stuff. This felt like a Harry Potter vibe because you got the school setting, you got the friends, you got the found family, you get the magic in there, and then at the same time, you're also got like a small subplot of romance. This was really fun and really cozy. I'm just not like a super cozy fantasy fan. My Goodreads literally says this is a weird mix between Harry Potter and Mean Girls. I totally don't remember that, but I gave this 3 stars and it was a lot of fun. I was in such a deep book hangover after KOA, so I don't know why I kept picking up fantasy books hoping that they would all hit really well, and that is What Lies Behind the Veil. What Lies Beyond the Veil by Harper L. Woods. Y'all, if you guys haven't seen my TikToks on this book, this was utter trash. This was just not my vibe at all. In the beginning, it felt kind of like an ACOTAR situation where there's a border between the human realm and the Fae realm. You know what? I'm just gonna call her FMC because I don't remember what her name is. She decides to volunteers tribute and be sacrificed to the veil to keep the wall up. But instead of that happening, it ends up getting taken down. So now the Fae realm and the human realm are now colliding into one. And she is now officially on the run to make sure she does not get found by her Fae mate, because apparently if that ends up happening, it's doom and gloom and not very good for the human. The majority of the time in this book, your main characters are literally walking through the woods. And I'm talking about 50% of this book, they're walking and screwing and then walking some more until finally at the end of the book where all the things are revealed. I've already guessed it. I've seen mixed reviews on the internet and I have to agree with the ones that don't like it. I did not like this at all. There's a reason why there's a snake on the cover of this book. I'm sure it's really not the reason why it's on the cover, but the male appendage has been related to a snake. Not that I have a problem with spicy books. I love me a spicy book, but I did not like this at all. Like 1 star. Like this was terrible. So I picked up a mafia romance. Each of them follows a different character on 2 rival gangs. We're following the rival gang from the Irish mafia. His sister is a ballerina. And the Polish mafia is starting to infiltrate the town and they end up taking her as prisoner. So this right here is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So I had a silly fun time giggling, kicking my feet, having a good time reading this. So I think I just gave this like a solid 3 stars. If you guys want to try an entry into dark romance, Sophie Lark does a really good job with that. Then I decided to complete a series. Well, I decided to pick up Ashes and the Stark-Cursed King. What was this? Like the entire build-up and plot that we got from book 1 was not at all like satisfying for the ending of this book. The betrayals and everything that we got in book 1 and after everything that happened in book 1, I was hoping for seething hatred in this entire book. And I just got puppy dog tears. Woe is me. Like every character and every sort of thing I wanted out of this book just did not get executed properly. I was missing everything I needed and more for this conclusion for the book, and it just really kind of bummed me out a little bit. That novella in between the two, and I'll put it up right here, that book was better than both of these combined. That was less than 200 pages long. That novella, chef's kiss, amazing. Carissa Broadbent, I don't know what you put in that, but that was good. This fell flat for me. I really loved Orea's character in the first book. I loved her, how driven she was. I love how she went after everything she wanted and more in book one. I like how everything ended in book one. So I was really excited for the second book of this. And I just felt really left down. I enjoyed it. I just wished there was a little bit more to it. After that, I decided to go back to another dark romance. And I picked up Rena Kent's God of Malice, and I decided to meet Killian Carson. This book starts off so brutal and so dark, and I ate up every single second of this book. This is not a beginner-friendly dark romance. If you are gonna read it, please check your trigger warnings first. You're following Killian and Glyndon. There is the UK school, and they're all bougie and very upper class. And then there's the American school, where Killian goes. And they just have this insane relationship. It is dark and twisted, and I loved every second of this. I gave this 4.5 stars. It wasn't 5 because I think I just kind of read it a little too slow for my pace. This was a lot of fun. Highly recommend Rena Kent. I can't wait to finish the entire Legacy of God series. So then after that, I decided to pick up Foxglove by Adeline Grace. This is the second book in the Belladonna series. It is a YA gothic thriller romantasy. I was eating up this book like no one's business. Like, I loved book 1. Book 2 just sent me in a spiral. I think it was exactly what I needed at exactly the right time. That book was so good. Like, young adult novels really get the yearning. Adult books don't. The yearning and the foaming at the mouth that these men do for the women in these books, in YA books, is so unmatched. I ate up every freaking second of this book. They are great palate cleanser books. They're easy to read, and the atmosphere is so good. I gave this one 4.5 stars, almost 5, but the more I think about it, I feel like it's a 5-star. It's like, it fluctuates with me. That entire trilogy, that is probably my favorite book. After that, I decided to pick up Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Rose Hill series. We have our main character, Skylar Stone. She is a singer. She decides to leave California. As she's on her way there, she sees a bear on the side of the road. And Weston Belmont, and he decides to save her, and he has 2 adorable little children. Their scenes in here, I ate up every moment of this. Elsie did such a wonderful job with this book because there is a lot of like heavy topics that she does talk about in here. Skylar has a lot of like emotional abuse that she's went through, and she has a hard time with stress because she gets overwhelmed really easily. I can see how a lot of people could relate to that, and I just felt like Elsie did such a wonderful job helping people be seen in this book and relating to Skylar. I think the first book was my favorite though, instead of this one. Kind of lost me near the end, but you know, I still ate it up, and I still had a wonderful time reading this. And then the last book I read at the end of the month was Quicksilver. We gotta talk about Quicksilver, guys. That was a big yawn. That was a stinky yawn.
Your breath stinks. Your breath stinks, Miraton.
I think it's a really good, not like beginner fantasy book, but if you were to read this early in your fantasy career, like say after ACOTAR, and you really enjoyed it, and you hear about the Quicksilver and how it's like blowing up the internet, honestly, I see why a lot of people would like it. And in that aspect, Callie Hart did a really good job. I just don't think this book was for me. I didn't like the writing style of it very much, and I really found our main character, Cyrus, obnoxious. I hated being in her head. She is this arrogant Aelin Galathinius wannabe, and it drove me nuts. This book probably would have been a lot better if it was dual POV, I think. If you're gonna be writing a fantasy book and you have it only first person POV, and I hate the main character, we're gonna have a hard time because I'm not gonna be looking forward to anyone else's POV. And it's just this tension, this sexual tension constantly between Cyrus and Kingfisher. Very insta-lusty. Not insta-lovey, insta-lusty. And if that's the case, Just fork and be done. We're all adults in this book. It's an adult romantasy novel. Just fork. Go have a good time, and then you can get it out of your system. But because of how the book is in the community and how I think it's actually not bad for beginner reading as far as getting into fantasy worlds, I would recommend this book for you. I think if you are curious about Quicksilver and you want to read it, then you know what? You should. That was it for the month of March. Let's hop into April. So I decided to pick up Wisteria and completely finish the entire Belladonna trilogy. And I really liked Wisteria, but I didn't like it as much as Foxglove. And I don't really want to talk about it too much because it will spoil a lot what's going on in the series. It was delicious. It was really good. I had a great time reading this book. It's just, it didn't live up to Foxglove. And I think a lot of people find Wisteria being their favorite. Yeah, I gave Wisteria 4 stars, and I think it was a wonderful conclusion to the trilogy. The next book I ended up picking up was For the Wolf by Hannah Winton, and actually this is my first DNF of the year. You are following this main character, her name is Red, and the first daughter is meant to rule the kingdom, the second daughter is always meant to get sacrificed to the wolf. The whole realm is basically waiting on Red to go to the Wilder Wood to sacrifice herself so the border could be safe between their land and the Dark Realm. I really liked the atmosphere in this book. It was really dark, it was really twisted, and it was gothic. But the writing didn't hold up for me. It just was super repetitive. Every single time the same thing was ending up happening, and I got frustrated. And there was no growth for any of our characters really. And the only real plot that was continuing to move forward was Neve's side. I found this just really lacking in storytelling, and I didn't like it very much. And I tried to give this a fair shot a few times. I started reading this book in February, and then I put it down. I got stuck around the 100-page mark. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put it on hold at the library and I'm gonna audiobook it instead. Maybe audiobooking the book will help me get a little bit more into the book. And I tell you what, guys, I only got maybe 25, 30 more pages in after the 100-page mark. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It has such wonderful potential though. It just wasn't executed in the way that I wanted it to be. If you guys have read this book before, actually tell me how you liked it. If you had similar feelings with this, if I'm the only one who feels this way, you know, I'd like to actually hear your guys' thoughts on this book. I don't hear anyone talking about it, so it would be nice to know what other people are thinking about it. I picked up my first thriller of the year. Wow, I was a huge thriller girl last year, and I haven't read a single thriller until now. So I have Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. You're following these two characters, Adam and Amelia. Adam has facial blindness, so he can't tell how emotions play out on his wife's face. She wants more out of him, but he won't reciprocate that. And so Amelia decides, you know what? I think I know what would be really good for us. We should just get out of town. I won this trip from work. You know, I think this would be great for us. So she packs them both up and they drive to Scotland and stay in this dilapidated, run-down church. And it kind of goes from there. I don't really want to talk too much about this because it is a thriller. I'm kind of indifferent on the book, to be honest with you, but I felt like when it got to the point of the plot twists, I just didn't like any of our characters. I found Amelia very whiny. I found Adam kind of obnoxious, and then I also kind of agreed with Adam in some cases. And you know, them probably getting divorced would have been the best bet for everything. I just found it really slow. I feel like when you read a thriller, you really want to have it become like a page turner. It needs to be fast paced. After that, I decided to pick up Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. You are following Amelia. Something ends up happening in her life that goes completely wrong, and she ends up summoning the demon Wrath. And the two of them are solving mysteries together because bodies keep turning up. I feel like this was a really good, very entry-level YA book, and I had a good time reading it. Kingdom of the Wicked is not spicy at all, okay? There's no reason, no spice, no nothing. It is just a thriller, mystery, YA fantasy book. Kingdom of the Cursed is spicy. I know authors are not in charge of where their books end up becoming on the shelves when they get published, but I would strongly suggest not having a young adult read the second book in Kingdom of the Wicked. I didn't like the second book at all. It was all over the place. I couldn't figure out where the plot was actually going. I don't really like hating on authors very much because I feel bad because it's hard work that they put into it. And if I just didn't like it, you know, that's just my prerogative. I thought Kingdom of the Wicked was good. I gave that one like a 2.5, 3 stars. Kingdom of the Curse was a solid 2. Like, I don't know what happened to the plot. And that's really all it was. There was no plot at all in the second book, and I got so lost. I stopped caring about what was happening to our characters. But I want to end on a good note here, and we're gonna talk about my new favorite urban fantasy series, and that is gonna be The City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. We're following our main character, Lowen. I think her name is Lowen because she doesn't like being called Lauren. Okay, her friend gets kidnapped, and that's not a spoiler or anything. It's the very first chapter, whatever. And she decides to get help through the form of Darien Castle. Throughout this journey that the two of them are going on, there's a whole bunch of really bad shit happening in their town. The underground dark government is at work here. Not only are they trying to find her friend, but Darien is tasked to protect her because there's demons around everywhere. They only come out at night. So if you're a human, you're basically toast. It's so fun. Darien Castle, if you've read any of the Shadowhunter books, is Jace coded. Okay? Like, he is adult version Jace. If you were a Jace girl when you were growing up and reading the Shadowhunter books, and you wanted that filthier, dirtier version of Jace that you just ached for when you got older, you gotta meet Darien. You gotta, because he is so Jace coded, it is absolutely insane. And I ate up every second of this. I loved this book. Everything that I wanted in an urban fantasy, it delivered in here. That was all from me. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, follow, and subscribe. I hope you guys are having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. My back is legit sore, so I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys in the next video super soon. Bye!